Patients may be scraping for scripts in their medicine cabinets. A new report from the Pharmaceutical Research and Manufacturers of America finds a 25% tariff on U.S. pharmaceutical imports could hike prescription costs by nearly $51 billion annually and could raise prices by nearly 13%. An analysis conducted by accounting firm Ernst & Young finds that the U.S. imports $203 billion in pharma products. As of 2023, 73% of those products come from Europe's Ireland, Germany, and Switzerland. Big pharma firms like Merck already kind of swallowing a bitter pill. Just yesterday, Merck warned it could take a $200 million hit in the first quarter due to the U.S.-China trade war. And it also cut its full-year profits. Shares are up today by 3.7%, but the stock has had a very tough year to date. In fact, we're looking at it down about 16%? Is that? Can't see. 16%. Merck's fellow Dow component Amgen has also seen a dent in its stock. On April 3rd, the day after Trump's tariff rollout, the stock was at $309. Today, it's at $280. But I spoke with the chairman and CEO, Bob Bradway. It's a rare interview for him. He doesn't get out there that often. But he was here at the Semaphore World Economy Summit just as he broke big news about a new $1 billion investment his biotech is making to manufacture in Columbus, Ohio.
At Amgen, we love a day when we're able to announce that we're expanding our manufacturing capability. So we're a world leader in biologics manufacturing, and we're excited to be advancing that in Columbus, Ohio.
How many jobs, construction versus permanent, will this part add?
Well, we're adding about $1 billion of investment today, and we expect to hire permanently another few hundred staff as a result of this expansion. So we'll have about $1.5 billion invested in Columbus and about 750 people working in our biomanufacturing there. In terms of the indirect contribution, I don't know specifically, but what I would say is that in the period 2018 to 2024, we invested about $5 billion in manufacturing in the United States, which gave rise to about $12 billion of incremental economic activity.
Well, exactly. You guys are not a Johnny-come-lately when it comes to manufacturing and repatriating jobs here. You're in Massachusetts, Rhode Island, of course, California, where you're headquartered. I'm just very interested to know, because you've got a lot of, let's say, competitors, rivals. Swiss drug manufacturer Roche just announced $50 billion over 5 years to bring manufacturing to the States to avoid or at least duck some of the tariff issues that could be coming. But does your manufacturing here completely protect you from tariffs?
Well, let me say a few things. First, our manufacturing base originated in the U.S., and so most of our manufacturing in our business began in the United States. The tax reform in 2017 enabled us to invest incrementally in the United States, so we've continued to grow our manufacturing base here. And we'll have to wait and see what happens on the tariff front. If necessary, we'll adapt. But we're very focused on being able to supply every patient every time with the complex biologic medicines that we make at Amgen.
Well, we're still waiting to hear from the president what he had said was coming, and that was sectoral tariffs. Pharma. He does not want those compounds coming in from China. How would that affect you if there is some type of pharma tariff?
Well, we're less dependent on China as a company than perhaps others in our industry, and less dependent on supplies from China than other industries, for example. So we're very focused on expanding the network that we have today in order to keep pace with the growing demand for our medicines. And with respect to tariffs, we'll have to wait and see what it is that the administration, what eventually emerges from the administration. And fortunately, we continue to have a constructive dialogue and expect that we will as different considerations evolve over time.
Yeah, I mean, I would imagine, though, that even retaliatory tariffs that are already in place from other countries, I mean, Merck just announced it would take a $200 million hit, and they had to downgrade their full-year expectations because of the tariffs, not even that they're expecting, but the ones that are in place at the moment. But let's just move to the development of the drug that could really change what has been a very hot space, and that's GLP-1s. Maritide, it's in the clinical trials right now.
Yes, it's in phase 3 development.
This would be a monthly injection versus a weekly injection. Where do we stand on that?
Well, Maritide is in phase 3 development. We have said that we expect it to be a monthly or less frequent approach to treating obesity and overweight and the other associated diseases. We haven't commented on when we would expect to finish the phase 3 development, but we're still, as I said, we're rapidly enrolling patients now and excited about what this medicine might represent.
When you look at drug development overall, you don't do a lot of interviews, so we've got you right now. I want to know what you're most excited about at Amgen that you are developing right now, and how does machine learning and AI speed up the process, which from concept to a doctor's prescription pad sometimes takes anywhere from 10 to 15 years.
Well, we're very excited about Maritide, but we're also very excited about a number of other medicines in our portfolio. Cancer medicines, medicines for heart disease, medicines for autoimmune disorders, and medicines for rare diseases. So we're excited about the breadth and depth of our pipeline right now, and excited also about how AI will enable us to identify patients, enable us to identify the right sites to begin, initiate trials, and also, frankly, earlier in the process, how AI and machine learning can help us select the right molecule at the outset of the journey.
Would you consider making acquisitions in that space to bring them on board and in-house?
The technology or
yes,
the molecules?
Technology.
Well, we've been an early adopter of machine learning and AI technology, and we've been able to source the technology that we need from NVIDIA and other providers, and we think we have the capabilities we need in-house to continue to develop our AI-inspired research development, and frankly, everything that we're doing in the business now is being influenced by AI.